Welcome to Think About It, the thought provoking devotional series from Field Quiver Outdoors. I'm your host, Jody Thibodeau, and it's my goal with this and every episode to help you fill your quiver with God through the great outdoors. Before I get into this episode, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a disclaimer that this is not going to be the typical Think About It episode where I present a short devotion and then follow up with a question for you to ponder for our deeper reflection. Instead, I'm going to share the presentation that I gave at my church this weekend about Camp McCall. Now, I did modify it slightly because we are taking up a love offering for Camp McCall at our church. But if you would like to support Camp McCall financially, you can do that through their website. I'll put a link in the show notes for this episode. But without any further ado, this is the presentation regarding Camp McCall and their current situation that I presented at my local church this weekend. Camp McCall, as many of you may already know, is the summer camp established in 1960 for South Carolina's Royal Ambassadors. For many men who grew up in South Carolina's Southern Baptist churches, including myself, Camp McCall has a special place in our memories and hearts. It's a place we remember spending weekends with our dads before the full weeks alone once we were old enough. As a dad myself now, who has been able to spend the last few years taking my boys to Lads and Dads camp, I see just how special McCall is in being a generational camp that has a Christian influence on the boys who go there each year. But now I also understand the impact it has on the fathers who go as well. I have a timeline of pictures I want to share with you briefly this morning. These first pictures are from Lad Camp 30 years ago when I was a kid. Next, these are some pictures from 3 months ago when we took our group of lads from our church. You'll notice very little has changed because they have a program that works and works well. The campfire stories and songs, the student participation in chapel and missions time, as well as the zip line are all the same. Yes, even the songs and campfire stories were the same this summer as they were 30 years ago when I was a kid. Well, they were the same. This is Camp McCall about 3 weeks ago. As you can see, there's a lot of work ahead of the staff of Camp McCall so they can continue to bring a Christ-centered camping experience to the Royal Ambassadors of South Carolina. I've talked about the impact McCall had on me as a camper and father, but I was able to witness the influence McCall had on two of our youth this summer as counselors. I experienced one give a devotion to the boys in our cabin each night and was delighted to see the other able to be not only present, but also speak out during one of the devotions held for the dads before breakfast each morning. I'd like to close with this image, which was posted to Camp McCall's social media account a few days ago, along with this statement. The chapel has been standing on top of this hill for 65 years. During this time, it has seen its share of bad weather, including remnants of a hurricane, a tornado, and the unusual display of the northern lights just over the past 2 weeks. It's also seen a lot of lives changed and relationships restored, forgiveness extended, and grace accepted. It will take more than a hurricane to stop it from being a beacon on this hill, encouraging people toward Jesus.